all they do is control you. One of the brothers was telling me that there was a person in Jamaatul Muhammadiyah who gave bay'ah to a Pir, and he said to the Pir, I'm working with this Jamaat, they do work for Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. The Pir told him to leave. If you're my Murid, leave. So the person doesn't take part in the Jamaat anymore, and in the activities of the Jamaat. Even though the person told him that it's a group that works for Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, for the good of Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, they told him to leave. This is how they control people. People like Yaseen, Muhammad Yaseen in Birmingham, he was doing fine work for Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. Since he joined Shaykh Yaqoubi, he's nowhere to be seen. He's only amongst his own Murids, in the Murid circle, not working amongst general Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. This is the state that Pirs have led our community to, that they give bay'ah and then they end up staying with their Pir only. I've also heard of people trying to do coups on Jamaatul Muhammadiyah, certain Pirs trying to come the way we came and doing a coup and saying the Zakat shouldn't be the leader, we should be the leaders. This is how bad the state is. So to rectify this state of affairs amongst Muslims, the only way we're going to rectify ourselves is by learning and studying and teaching and reading. If we stay the way we are, then there's no point of me coming and doing speeches, and it's better for me to stay in a madrasa and just teach. Because someone said to me, why don't you do tours of different places? I said the need for today is teaching rather than touring. And if I toured, there'll be more havoc than there already is. Yes, because, but there's no need for it. What I'm trying to say is that we need to raise our standard, raise our intellectual awareness. Why do you think people like Pirzada's son, what's his name, Bakhtyar, why do these people look up to Hamza Yusuf? They look up to Hamza Yusuf because they see someone intellectually superior to themselves. He's not a budbud ding ding. He's someone who is a white man, and they have a superiority, they have an inferiority complex with them. He's someone who studied in the Muslim world, so they look up to these people. They see them as intellectually superior. We are suffering from post-colonial problems, post-colonial. We still look up to the white man. And if that white man becomes a Muslim, then, for instance, Henderson is not a scholar, but he's promoted as a Shaykh. Why? Because he has white privilege. White privilege gives these people the springboard to become scholars. But who's to blame for this? It's you brown Muslims that are to blame. Why? Because you still suffer from your post-colonial mentality, that if a white man does it, it's better than the way I do it. Or if an Arab does it, it's better than the way I do it. You need to move away from this, and then we will be able to defend the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with a more cerebral response. Why do the people like Hafiz Aslam look up to T.J. Winter? Because T.J. Winter is a graduate from Oxford, from Cambridge University. He's a professor in Cambridge University. He's a professor, and he's translated so many books. Otherwise, our local Maulvi who's memorized Bahari Shariat knows more than him. But why do they look up to these guys? Because of their command of English and because of who they are. This mentality of our young up-and-coming scholars needs to go with the younger generation. You should not feel inferior for being Pakistani or for being being immigrants. No, you need to. How do you remove that inferiority complex? Education. The only way is educate yourselves. And this is a simple message. Maybe this is the last time I even come to Halifax after this speech. But I will say to you that I said to another person, a faqir has nothing and no one to fear except his own sins. The only thing I fear is my sins. But I have no fear of the people I've mentioned or the groups I've mentioned, because I know that these people have nothing in them. They have no substance in them. If they had substance, they would have stood up on these issues. None of these people have substance. If they had substance, they would have stood up against the British government and the British government's policies. They would have stood up against the people who insult the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But instead, they have not done so. And I'm also open to questions and answers afterwards, depending on what the organizers say. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وأتوب